Episode 7.
Episode 7, electronic shifting. This is maybe even a hotter topic than our
This is drama.
controversial crank length episode.
It's true. I
Clearly lit the internet on fire.
I clearly have an opinion on this, which is that all bikes should have electronic shifting.
Yeah. I've got hard hitting takes.
Yeah. I like our man Larson here did a little research and brought up some early days stuff. You get to start off with that crazy front derailleur. You can talk shit about that.
Yeah, so a lot of people are, as you and I have ranted about, like, electronic shifting's been around a lot longer than we realize. Like, if you're old school road guy, you know about Mavic Zap. You can let your experiences loose on this. For me, the first thing I ever saw that was considered electronic shifting on a bike was on a GT, like Karakoram, that I worked on when I was 17, first month of being in the bike shop. And it was like the Browning auto shift, Browning transmission stuff that was around from the late 80s. It was very, very rare. And this bike just had the front derailleur. And I remember thinking to myself, man, this is a disaster. And I'll never have electronic shifting on my bicycle. Fast forward, but tell us about your Zap times.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I can remember being a young man working in the back of the shop, probably 94. Kunzer put together a titanium Lightspeed Zap bike.
I think I remember seeing that.
Oh, and then when we bought the store, it came with the store, and so I rode it for a season, and it was the most finicky, weird ass, like tiny buttons.
Yeah.
And there's a customer that really wanted it. I'm like, yeah, you should buy this because I have like no idea how long this stuff's gonna last. Well, and it worked for the guy for a really long time actually. Like either the stuff really worked and went forever, and like you got your value out of it, or it didn't make it past day 2.
Well, and it was handy because you could like rob your neighbor, because you'd pull up next to your house and shift and it would open your neighbor's garage. Because none of the stuff was like on individual communication channels.
No, they were. It was a night train.
Yeah. I remember reading about it, and apparently in the pro peloton a few of the teams were trying it, and you could shift other guys' gears by accident if you were too close, too proximal.
Yeah, that's some pretty early days.
Yeah, that's definitely barbarian times for electronic shifting.
Well, you fast forward to 2009?
Yep.
So you're basically going all the way from, call it 95, 96 to 2009, so 15 years later. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, a Di2 I thought was a pretty flawless win on road bikes.
Yeah, when Di2 first came out, and the first time I tried it, I was pretty blown away.
Yep.
And I don't think I used it. I had it, I think my first ever true have it on my bike experience, I think was that BMC.
Oh, yeah.
Time Machine I had. Was it Time Machine? The Fondo bike?
Man,
it wasn't the Road Machine. The Time Machine was the more tall head tube one.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I had Di2 on that.
Yep.
And that was where I was like, wow, like why would I ever have cables on my road bike?
Totally.
Ever again.
Yeah, I had a Madone with Di2 kind of like 2009, 10-ish. And it was like, game changer. Because the stuff is like Shimano smooth, up and down nicely, no issues. Batteries are easy to charge. It was actually pretty low stress, other than if you're in the shop, making sure the right length cables. That just became a whole new thing that you just weren't used to dealing with.
Such flawless front shifting. I mean, even in those days, Shimano road front shifting was amazing. And those derailleurs, I can't remember the percentage, but it's more than like 200% more force than a mechanical derailleur, if memory serves. And man, did it ever shift. Although, you couldn't get away with having a burned out drivetrain as much, because
it waited for ramps.
The computer doesn't like that.
Yeah, it likes ramps.
Yeah.
Yeah, then those guys motored into the XTR stuff, and I actually went and rode in California with those guys on what bike they were. Doesn't matter. It was like when they were trying to do that auto shifting, where it's like had 2 rings in the front. This is like just before one bike took off. Yep. And you shifted the gear once, and it decided to do the front derailleur all at the same time or whatever.
Yeah.
That was like, in my mind, like the stuff worked, but it really wasn't fun for mountain biking.
Yeah, I felt like it was neat technology, but it wasn't really solving a problem that I had.
If you were a bike path warrior, like kick ass. Like, it makes sense. But like if you're like trying to do some actual mountain bike stuff, and all of a sudden the thing changes your front derailleur at the same time as it's changing your rear derailleur, and you're just about to do something, like it was really, really unnerving.
If you needed to declare war on the bike path with total precision, though, definitely agree. That was a deadly, deadly piece of equipment.
You know, the Japanese boys there were like crushing it for sure with just like how well the stuff works.
Yeah,
But
and you saw some of that stuff when you went to Shimano Japan too, did you not?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the stuff is neat. I think they did a great job. But like you were talking about it earlier. Like let's fast forward to basically it's 19, right? Mm-hmm. So that's another 10 years basically.
Yep.
And we get into our first
AXS bikes,
which is like,
yeah, that was right around the time that I started to kind of slowly morph more into being a SRAM guy. Whoa.
good
jumpy.
Good tire seat.
Jumpy on set. You know, right around then I started to kind of change up from being a all the time Shimano guy to a SRAM guy. And the first time I rode AXS, I was like, well, out comes the wallet. That's going on my bike.
Yep. You held up way longer than me. I was like way too crusty about being a bike retailer and all the different BS that Shimano was doing to us in the 2010s. So I hadn't been riding Shimano in years.
Yeah, you were SRAMing it out.
Yeah, I was SRAMing it out. So then the stuff worked okay, like their mechanical stuff. But man, when that first electronic shifting came out, I went on everything I could put it on. Like I had it on that Mega Tower.
Yep.
It went onto my first Stigmata that I had like all dressed up like a Kobe Bryant like Lakers bike, and then I put it onto a Trek Fuelie X98, and then I haven't had a bike on. I don't think I've had a bike since 19 without it.
Yeah, I've had it going. I've had actually the same, that original AXS derailleur that I got when we decided to do it.
Yeah.
That derailleur has traveled from.
It's still working, right?
It's on my Bullet.
Yeah.
And I used it when I gravel raced last year because on my checkpoint I had the
you did the
gravel mullet
mullet
set up.
yeah.
The derailleur is finally starting to show signs of wear. Like it's not as accurate as it used to be, and I think I'll probably get one of those Madrone kits and rebuild
I was
it
gonna
with
say
it.
there's some whack ass dudes building
I'm going to sauce it up this winter and keep it going because the servos in it still work perfectly. The batteries are good. Like, of course, you can update the software so that it's not T-type, but on my gravel bike it works perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
Yeah, and my Bullet's not currently set up
so
T-type, so
we're both here e-bikes, e-shifting. What's your least favorite thing about it? Well, if you had a beef, what is it?
well, I mean, beef is outright cost.
Yeah.
For sure. You hear a lot of people concerned about damaging it, although mine's been bulletproof, and that clutch thing in the derailleur that allows it to take hits works exceptionally well.
Totally.
I'd say the one beef, if I had to give a beef, is that because it runs on a computer, you cannot get away with a burned out drivetrain. So if you are willing to like nurse a drivetrain to the end of the season, depending where you get caught out in the wear cycle, all of a sudden your bike is showing that it's worn in the drivetrain.
So it's good and bad.
Good and bad, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What's your gripe?
My biggest gripe.
That your bike works too good?
It just, they were too good. I say the only thing is that pre-transmission, you like, and at the same time e-bikes are coming out, and you've ridden e-bike, I've ridden e-bike lots, and you smash into things and you just treat it like you treat it like you don't even own it.
Yeah.
It's so bad. And I can remember on my first Bullet with one of those derailleurs, like I think I went through 7 hangers because you can make it shift when it really shouldn't shift. And so you can just be a total jackass and just like rip through the gears, which they really fixed with the transmission.
Yeah.
So as soon as you kind of got into the UDH stuff and it waited for ramps and stuff.
Much more solid.
Yeah. So
pretty critical to remember not to have it in multi-shift.
Yeah.
Like you got to have no multi-shift for the e-bike. But
the amount of like times I'd be in the middle of a ride, my bike didn't shift anymore because I turned the hanger into Swiss cheese.
Yeah, they do definitely force the stock hangers. I had to start running the NSB aluminum hanger on my Bullet, which helped. But T-type is a whole other level of just stability.
But you could take that old derailleur pre-T-type and hit it with a hammer as much as you like. The thing was tough.
Yeah, they were tough. They
were tough.
Well, they still are tough.
Yeah.
And it's like a viable upgrade for a lot of people too. Still, if you don't have a UDH bike but you want to do something nice for your bike, like come and see us. We'll take care of you.
It's a ticket.
Yeah.
And the juggernauts there out of Japan are definitely coming with something.
They're coming with something.
You guys can check out the internet. There's a lot of prototype photos floating around.
Yeah. So let's talk our poll numbers real quick. You got to read it though, because I can't read that whatever you wrote on there.
Well, yeah, we did a poll here, and basically 29-30% said yes, their bikes currently have e-shifting on them.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good split, 30-70. And then people who are going to buy it, their next bike, 42% said yes to it and 58 said no. So actually it wasn't, I thought it'd be like 50-50.
Yeah.
But no, lots of people are still a little bit tentative about it.
I'm going the opposite way. Like maybe I've just been subject to too much internet rhetoric, but I thought more people would be against it. But I think people are starting to understand what it brings to the table. So
it is like, yeah, once you've had it, it's hard to get away from it.
yeah, so if you buy a new bike and it doesn't have cable ports, don't worry, you should just get super sweet electronic shifting.
And not worry about it.
And not worry about it. Yeah. It's a win all around for me, so I'm 100% behind it.
Yeah, this is a terribly biased between two wheels.
Yeah, we're biased. I mean, we're spoiled bike industry rascals.
Oh yeah.
And we love electronic shifting.
I'm definitely a spoiled turd, and that's all I want.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I can't help it.
Yeah. I'm not apologetic about it. I think we've come to time, though.
We're at time, so stay tuned for next week. The controversies will just keep rolling in until such time as we solve all the bike world's problems.
Buy e-shifting. Don't be silly.
Yeah, do it.